sorry I'm late, too late to be late, but to compensate for that, I am going to upload 4 videos back to back so that you can enjoy my content that you already do. So, without further ado, as you actually saw in the thumbnail and in the title, we are going to make Yukihira's Christmas, Noel, summertime cake or summertime Christmas cake. It's basically a Yule log, a Swiss roll cake. Um, so, and I made this cake on the 25th, which is my mother's birthday, and I made this cake for her. She liked it. I hope you guys also like it when you make it at home. And so, without further ado, let's get this party started. Also, a quick note: I didn't exactly make this cake by the recipe because it had some weird ingredients like avocado and tofu, and I didn't want an experiment on such a special occasion. So, with that said, let's go to it. Okay, so we are going to start by separating our eggs. We're going to use 3 eggs. I'm going to separate their yolks from their whites. A really easy method is to use the shell as kind of a sieve, and if any yolk breaks, you can use the shell to take the yolk out from the whites, because if there is even a drop of yolk in your whites, the meringue wouldn't form. So that's why. Okay, now put your whites aside and take the yolks, and we're going to cream the yolks. Now this special thing about this cake is that it neither has fat nor it has sugar. So instead of sugar, we are going to use honey as a sweetener. Now this would make it difficult to cream the eggs because the sugar crystals won't make those air pores that we need. But eventually, after 5, 10, 8, 7, 8 minutes, depending on the speed you use your hand mixer, it would form, it would cream, and it should look about a off-white to light yellow color. Alright, with that said, your eggs are creamed, and you would now add flour to them. So we are going to use about half a cup of flour there. I'm going to mix it up. I'm also going to add a splash of milk. Where's the splash of milk? Yeah, there you go, the splash of milk, because original recipe calls for, and we also are going to add cinnamon. Yeah, as I was saying, the original recipe calls for 4 eggs. I use 3, so compensating with the splash of milk. Now I'm going to clean up our dashboard. Yeah, clean up the dashboard, and I'm going to wash up the whisk so that we can make the meringue. Now again, no sugar in the meringue. Depending on the speed you use your hand mixer, it should take you about 2 to 5 minutes to form the meringue. I used it at the highest speed. It took me about 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Not that long. With the meringue at stiff peaks, you are ready to go. And please don't overmix the meringue. It could lead to deflation. Alright, now to the baking sheet. I'm going to prepare a baking sheet and take exact measurements. You don't want any funky corners. So take the exact measurement, cut out the sheet as you want, as I'm doing right here, and use some kind of a cooking spray or oil to spread on the bottom of the baking sheet so that the parchment paper actually sticks. Now the only place where we are using actual fat is which is in direct contact with the cake is the parchment sheet. We're going to spread some butter on it, nothing else. Alright, now we're going to fold our meringue into our yolk mix. We're going to mix it in thirds. The first third you can mix it vigorously, it doesn't matter, but from the second third and the third, final third, you have to mix it gently so that it doesn't deflate. Alright, with that done, we are going to spread up in the on the baking tray. Sorry, You're going to spread on the baking tray evenly, and just um, make sure to pop any bubbles that are there. That goes to the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 10 to 12 minutes depending on the thickness of your cake. Now, again, depending on the thickness of the cake, it would cook real fast. 10 to 12 minutes is enough. Now I'm going to detach it from the parchment paper. Yes, it would stick a little bit in the corners, not from the center. So just separate from the corners so that you can roll the cake, because essentially this is a Yule log, so you have to roll the cake. And after intense work, I separated it, and we are going to sprinkle up some cocoa powder on the cake so that it doesn't stick when folded up. Yes, and yes, do fold it up while it's still warm. Now I'm going to make the filling of the cake. We are going to take some cream, some cocoa powder, and some honey. The mistake I did here is that I added honey before the cream was whipped, so my cream didn't go to stiff peaks, it reached till soft peaks, and that was a mistake. So make sure you don't do it. Make sure you add the honey after you go to stiff peaks. So about so 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder and 1/4 of a cup of honey. And as you can see there, it there's add soft peaks, and soft peak is just too light to spread, so your countertop would be a little messy, but it's not going to matter with the final cake because it's going into the refrigerator anyways. Now with that done, you are going to spread it up on the cake, roll it up, and put it in the fridge until you make a ganache. For the ganache, you want to add butter. This is one thing that I like, because the origin recipe calls from avocado, tofu, and banana. I don't want to do that. So here we are going to make a regular ganache with butter, chocolate, and cream. To put in chocolate, you can use milk chocolate. You can use extreme dark chocolate. You can even use white chocolate if you are. No, actually, don't use white chocolate. The colors would mess up. So yeah, use milk chocolate or dark chocolate. I am using here 70% dark chocolate, about a whole bar. So melt the chocolate on a double boiler, and with that done, you're going to add the leftover cream from the filling in this. So it's going to add even more chocolate to the ganache, which is not a bad idea in my opinion. It is also going to sweeten the ganache because the filling has honey. And as you can see here, my mistake, the ganache separated. Don't worry, I'm going to solve the mistake by adding more cream later. So you put a little dollop of the ganache on the log, and then cut the end and put the smaller end there, and then cover it with your final ganache, which has more cream than the previous one. Cover it up as much as you can. Again, I am not a professional baker, I'm not even a professional chef, but I actually don't bake that much, so don't expect great frosting technique from me. I'm just spreading as at my best. Alright, now we're going to pop it in the freezer for about 5 minutes after we're done frosting it, so that we can then carve up our design. Clean the plate first because you're going to serve on the same plate. At least I am. If you don't want to serve on the same plate, your opinion, doesn't matter. Now that's back from the fridge, and we're going to use the ice cream stick, the key ingredient in this thing to carve up the log design. Just make parallel lines and you're done. Battle lines everywhere on the log where you see the frosting. Look at the log. Now I'm not gonna make the vanilla bombs because I don't have those silicon semicircular things, so I'm going to use these silver sprinkles that look like snow, and it's Christmas, so yeah. And I'm also gonna with a strawberry leaf and a whole strawberry, and that's essentially the summertime Christmas cake from Food Wars. So if you like this content, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And for more such content, please, and I request press the notification bell. And that'll be it from me. So bye, and I'll meet next time.